All right, so we're diving into Bitcoin today.
Yeah.
It took a bit of a tumble.
It did.
Dropping over 7%.
Over 7%.
And we're going to try to figure out what drove that and
Right.
and where things might be headed.
Exactly.
We've got some sources to help us with that.
Cool.
Looks like Trump's economic policies and
That's a big factor.
these market yields are kind of at the heart of it.
For sure.
Bitcoin had a pretty strong first quarter.
It did.
But then that dip
Yeah.
has everyone wondering,
Absolutely.
will it recover?
Right.
What are the future price targets going to look like?
$1 million question?
So
Yeah.
to give everyone listening a little context,
Okay.
Bitcoin has historically done really well in the second quarter of the year.
Yeah.
The average increase over the last 13 years
Hmm.
has been 27%.
Oh, wow.
So do you think that means we could see a rebound this time around?
I mean, that historical data is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
But I think what's really fascinating right now
Okay.
is that we've got these specific headwinds and tailwinds, right?
Yeah.
We need to look beyond just the averages.
Okay, so let's dig into this whole potential recovery thing.
Okay.
What could actually make Bitcoin bounce back?
Yeah.
Our sources point to a few key areas.
All right.
The first one is the possibility of interest rate cuts.
Okay.
So if that happens,
Yeah.
some experts think new capital could flow into Bitcoin.
Makes sense.
Then we have Standard Chartered.
Oh, yeah.
They're predicting a $500,000 price target.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Well, their projection is probably based on a couple things.
Okay.
The expectation of increased institutional adoption,
Mm-hmm.
and also just the fact that the supply of Bitcoin is constrained.
Right. Limited.
Exactly. And then, of course, lower interest rates
Yeah.
would make risk assets like Bitcoin more appealing
Oh, that's interesting.
compared to, just like lower yielding options.
Yeah. Okay, so lower interest rates would mean that Bitcoin looks a lot more attractive.
Yeah, potentially.
Interesting. Okay. What about Trump's economic policies?
Oh, yeah.
The sources suggest that deregulation
Mm-hmm.
and tax cuts could actually boost the entire market,
Yeah,
which could then indirectly benefit Bitcoin.
right.
How would that work?
Well, I think policies that stimulate economic activity
Okay.
can definitely lead to more investment
Mm-hmm.
across all sorts of different asset classes.
Right.
The key, though,
Yeah.
is whether these policies actually encourage people
Okay.
to put their money into higher risk areas like cryptocurrency.
So it's not a guarantee,
Right.
but it could happen.
Exactly.
Okay. And then there's this whole regulatory development
Oh,
with stablecoins.
Uh-huh.
New rules for stablecoins are supposed to be in place
Yeah.
by June of 2025.
Coming up.
How could that impact things?
Well, this brings up some important questions
Okay.
about the whole market infrastructure.
Mm.
I think, clear and sensible regulations
Okay.
could make people feel more confident
Yeah.
about the whole digital asset ecosystem.
Right. More stability.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
could potentially attract,
Yeah. Yeah.
more mainstream participants.
Makes sense. And then, of course, we have to look at what the experts are predicting.
Of course.
Some are saying Bitcoin could reach $200,000 by the end of next year,
Wow.
especially if the market conditions improve.
Yeah.
And then there are these longer-term predictions,
Right.
with some people still thinking it could hit that $500,000 mark.
Big numbers.
What do you think is driving these really different timelines?
Well, the shorter term targets
Yeah.
are probably based on, near-term market analysis
Okay.
and what people think is going to happen
Mm-hmm.
with regulation and adoption.
Right.
The longer-term projections, though,
Yeah.
they often assume there are going to be some pretty significant technological advancements
Okay.
and that cryptocurrencies will become much more integrated into the global financial system.
So a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so just to recap for everyone,
Okay.
Bitcoin recently dipped
Mm-hmm.
alongside Trump's economic policy news
Right.
and these market yields.
Yeah.
But historically, the second quarter has been a strong one for Bitcoin.
Historically, yeah.
Potential recovery factors include interest rate cuts,
Uh-huh.
the impact of these economic policies,
Yeah,
and
right.
upcoming stablecoin regulations.
Right.
Experts are throwing out price points
Yeah.
anywhere from $200,000 by next year
Wow.
to $500,000 in the long run.
Big range.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
What do you think?
I think it really comes down to this confluence of factors.
Yeah.
You've got the economic stuff,
Right.
the political stuff,
Uh-huh.
and the regulatory stuff.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and it's all going to determine where Bitcoin goes from here.
So here's something for everyone listening to think about.
Okay.
We've got this historical second quarter performance. And then we've got these wildly different future price scenarios.
Yeah.
So what specific events or market indicators do you think are going to be the most telling
Interesting.
when it comes to figuring out Bitcoin's true trajectory?
Something to ponder.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving deep with us.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.